Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic for SVG, that is animation. Prior to this session, we discussed about one element which was set that we used to perform some animation, right? Now in this session, we are going to talk about another element that can be used for performing the animation on graphics. Now the question is, what is the element, how we are going to utilize it? The element name is Animate. Yes, there is one element with the name Animate that we will be using to perform some animation on graphic shapes. So by the end of this session, you will be able to understand what is Animate element, how we can utilize it, what are the benefits of using Animate element, and all the basic syntax and structure that we are supposed to follow. Okay, but before we proceed with the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. But for time being, we are just mainly focusing on the Animate element. Okay, fine. So I think now we are good to start with the code. Here you can see the code is very simple and straightforward, where we have just noted down the title in the head section, and there is one heading which is showing HTML by Sharmit. We will save this code and refresh the browser to show you the output. So currently we are just getting the output like HTML by Sharmit. Now what we will do, firstly I'll put one more heading which will show the today's topic. So here I will put animation in SVG, and after a hyphen we will show here Animate element. Okay, so we will just put this Animate element. So this is our main topic. So on screen it is coming like this: animation in SVG, Animate element. Okay, now what we are going to do now, we are going to create the SVG. Now what is SVG? We all know that to perform anything on graphics, either we can use Canvas or SVG. But in this series, we are talking about the Scalable Vector Graphic. That's why I have utilized this SVG. Okay, so let's add the SVG. It is quite simple. You just need to put its width and height. So I'll firstly put like width, which would be 1000 pixel. Then we will put the height, which would be 500 pixel. After that, we will apply the style, which will show the border of 5 pixels solid black. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that one black border has been covered over the SVG area. So we have added this border just to show you the actual area that is covered by the SVG. Clear? After this, what we are going to do, we are going to utilize the Animate element. But what is Animate element? So let's start with the definition itself. So Animate element animates the attribute of an element. Okay, although like these are similar kind of words, that's why it sounds a bit different. But let me explain you in a clear word. Animate is an element which is used to perform animation, or which is used to animate an object of element. Clear? Okay, it sounds like a tongue twister, but it is not. It is just a definition that Animate element animates an attribute of an element. Clear? Now, how we can use it? So the Animate element should be nested inside the target element. So there should be some target element inside which we will use this Animate element. Clear? So to explain you the things in a simpler way, what we will do, we will draw one circle. On that circle, what we will do, we will apply some changes on CX attribute to move the circle from left side to right side in an animation. Okay, so we will draw a simple circle. On that circle, we will apply Animate element, and it would help us to move from one place to another. And that process is known as animation. Okay, so I'm assuming that you all know how to draw circles, how to draw shapes, because these things we have already covered multiple times. So for time being, we will be just using the actual circle. So for that, let me put one comment first here. So I'll put like this hyphen. Here we will put the simple thing which is draw a circle. Okay, then after this we will use here one element, which is circle element. Okay, in circle element we will use all attributes that are required to draw a circle, like here we will put the value of cx, which would be 100, then cy, which would be 100 again, and then we will use r is for radius, where we will make it as 50. Clear? Or if you want to make it bigger, that is also fine, but 50 is fine. Then we will apply some style to fill the shape with red color. So here I'll use a red color. Clear? Fine. Now we are good to save this code and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that one red circle has printed on the screen or a web browser. So this is just a normal circle. We have not applied any animation yet. Okay, this is just a simple circle. Now to apply some animation, we will write the code inside this circle element. So here I'll write comment where I will mention applying animation. Okay, this is just for your description that we are going to use, and I'm assuming that you all know how to write the comments in HTML, right? So this is the way to write the comment. This is not a executable code. This is just a comment. Fine. Now here we will apply the animate element. So you just need to write here animate element. Perfect. Don't expand it because we just want to put some attributes here. So I'll directly put it here only. So the first attribute that we are supposed to pass here is attribute name. Okay. So here we will put the name of the attribute which we want to modify for animation. So I want to modify my cx value. Clear? Then we will provide the begin value. Here in begin we will put 0 seconds. Then we will use here dur. In dur we will put 8 seconds. Then we will put from. I'll tell you each and every attribute meaning, but for now firstly I'm just showing you the output. Then in 2 we will put the value as 90%, and then in the end we will use the value repeat count. Okay, we will just write here repeat count. In repeat count we will write the value which is indefinite. Okay, so here we will write definite, F-I-N-I-T-E. Perfect. Now you can simply save this and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see, okay, let me check what is wrong here. Cx value. Okay, instead of 50, like we will make it as 100 because the current position is 100, right? And from here to here. Okay, now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, wait for a few seconds. Something is wrong here. Let me check what is wrong. Maybe we have provided anything wrong here. Let me check. In cx we will put 100, then cy is 100, r is 50. Style would be fill red, that is okay. Now in animate we are using attribute name as cx, begin with 0 seconds, duration would be 8 seconds, from 100 to 90%, repeat code indefinite, INDEFINITE. Everything looks good. Not sure why it is not working. Let me check again. Maybe we have provided it in a wrong way. Animate. Okay, let me check it again thoroughly. Okay, so if we check it again, okay, the issue is in this attribute name. Here we are using attribute, but spelling is wrong. So attribute, B-U-T-E. Now it is fine. Let's save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you will see that now this circle has started moving on the web browser. Why? Because we have applied the animation on the circle. Clear? So this is how you can utilize the animation on a web browser. Okay, now similarly, like you can perform animation on any kind of shape which you want to use. Now let's understand the attribute that we have used here. Clear? So the first attribute that we use here is the attribute name itself. So what is attribute name? It will tell the it will defines which attribute to animate. Then we have begin attribute that defines when the animation should start. Then we have dur attribute, which is for duration, that defines the duration of the animation. Then later we have from attribute that defines the starting value. Then we have to attribute that defines the ending value. In to we will put ending value. Clear? And then we have the next thing, which is after to we have last thing, which is repeat count. That means how many times you want to repeat the count. Okay, so here you can put the value which you want to use for repeating. Okay, so this is how like we can utilize the animate element for performing the animation on the shapes. And this is not fixed that you have to use it only for the circle. You can use it for anything. Clear? Any shape. And for any attribute as well, like if you want to move it from left to right, you can change the value of y or x. How you want to move, that is up to you. But overall structure is this, like here we are supposed to provide the attribute name, then begin, duration, from, to, repeat count. That's it. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.